Jones here, co-founder, Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. So yesterday we were talking about the 8 coming up, pushing the price higher, and it favored still the higher prices. Broke out today. You see stopping first at our 1493.47 area, right there, pausing for a little bit, and then continuing higher. Got to ask some questions for people if they needed more intraday levels. Well, here's what we did. So I went down to a 15-minute chart to find some pausing bars, went from this key swing low on July 8th, and then I came up to this pausing area. You can clearly see how it paused there, and then I extended it up. That's how we came up with some more intraday levels. So next targets were 1520.98, so 1521, and then 1544.09, closing at 1547.92. So that's the way we came up with the next targets for any people day trading. I also got some questions if this, because this thing doesn't stop, what are my thoughts? I've talked about this. Fundamentally, it's not worth anything like this. And even technically at this point, it's getting completely vertical again. And we've talked about, it's one of the themes of this channel, vertical up, vertical down. So people forget when now it doesn't look like much, but if I scroll some of this off the chart before, when we're back in February, vertical up, and look how extended we got from the daily rotation zone, coming back down, vertical up again, coming crashing back down, and that's what took it below 400. Can this thing come back down? It will at some point. Don't know when. It's incredibly overbought. If we go to the weekly chart, you can see how overextended it is from this is the most overextended it's ever been from its weekly rotation zone, and most stocks don't get this overextended from the weekly rotation zone. You can see here, again, let me take off this level for a bit. We don't need that there anymore. But you can see how ramps up. Now this is, I believe, I talked about this, how many weeks it was up, and then it was at some point due for a correction, and it corrected over a series of 4 weeks, all the way back below 400. So at some point this will correct. At some point it will not keep going up day after day after day, but as long as it keeps getting juiced by this out-of-money massive call buying that seemed to be timed very well with stock purchases, it'll keep going. So there's only one thing to do, but you had to trade carefully. I wouldn't put everything you had into this stock, because there could be news eventually that comes out in the stock that causes a major drop all of a sudden. That's why it's still risky. Let's see, what did it trade up to after hours? Let me just take a look here on my other quote terminal for after hours. And let's see, sorry for the brief pause. I was just wondering where it traded up to after hours. It traded up to 1553, essentially, 1552.99. So not quite that 1563. For next week, what are we watching then? On a continued move higher above this 1548.92, and I don't use the after hours data for figuring out the retracements and everything. I just wanted to see where it was. 1563, then 1697, so essentially 1700. Support, let me look at the 4 hour here. Support on the 4 hour just coming in slightly above the 12.5% retracement, so I'd be watching about 1415 to 1400 as first level support, and that's also this little resistance ledge becoming support. So that's yesterday and the day before's resistance ledge becoming support. On any drop in below that, based off the 4 hour, we're looking about 1275, which is right before this gap fill, which we've talked about multiple times. On the daily, 1330 is a key level to watch should we drop back there, and if there's a major drop, that's now sitting back at about 1160. Weekly, it's all the way back at 1100. So, and we still have this week gap to fill. We actually have a number of week gaps to fill, but this would be the primary one if we started dropping. So until this thing reverses, gotta trade with the trend. There's nothing else to do. It looks like it could still theoretically set up a divergence going into next week. And when there are divergences, it's definitely time to tighten up your stops should it pull back suddenly. That's what we have for you on Tesla. I'll talk to everyone later. Bye for now.